am.
Awesome. I would like to welcome to the podcast Jordan Bernard. Jordan is a family nurse practitioner and business owner who empowers her clients to take control of their healthcare by providing education and offering the best scientifically based medical treatments. People always give me these big words. Reading out loud is not my specialty. Her clinic addresses specific root cause issues and restores wellness so clients live their lives free from pain and sickness. I want to talk about how you do that. Jordan's vision is to radically change healthcare by being an example of abundant mindfulness. We love abundant mindfulness around here. And executing strategic steps to incorporate the best medicine has to offer in ways that make wellness care better, fast, and more affordable. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. So you also work for Keith Reeves, who was on the podcast many moons ago. He's probably like episode 9 or something with an optimized wellness. So I want to talk about it too. But thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Yay. So first question, what was your first job?
My first job when I was 15. So I grew up riding horses. And when I was 15, I decided that I was going to give lessons and train so that I kind of developed my own job.
That's awesome. Entrepreneur.
It's still my favorite job.
It's still your favorite job.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
I don't, but it's something I want to get back to.
That's awesome. Yeah. So how did you know you wanted to go into healthcare? That's not training horses.
So no, it's not. So my safe answer is because I would always have a job. It was secure.
It's true.
Good paycheck. I could get a job anywhere. I think the real reason is I knew healthcare was broken and I wanted to be a part of the change.
I really love that. And I think like we find our purpose all the time too. We're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this thing because it's stable. And then we're like, oh, but actually this, then that. And
exactly.
I actually have an intrinsic reason to really like it. So how did you find your focus in integrative health?
I kind of rolled right into it. So I've always been looking back. I have always been the type of person that wanted the best that medicine had to offer. Even when I was in more of a conventional medical field, I knew that there was probably a better way to do it. And so whenever we moved to Colorado 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to get into an integrative field. And I just haven't looked back since.
Because we have a lot of that here.
Yeah.
So just for people who are listening, like how would you define integrative medicine?
So integrative medicine is taking multiple specialties and putting them either under one roof or under one like referral kind of umbrella.
Okay, cool.
So it's practitioners that have chosen to work together.
Yeah, I love that. So you administer and you help with different integrative therapies. Like what are some of those therapies and what do they look like?
Yeah, so with Optimized Wellness in Keith, I am a certified BioT provider. So BioT is a bioidentical hormone replacement therapy using pellet form, which is a really great way to get your hormones for most people because it provides a steady supply. It's all natural. There's very little side effects. So we do that. And then we also do ozone therapy, which ozone is a tool that we use in medicine to help improve mitochondria function. So we're energizing the cell, we're helping decrease inflammation, get rid of free radicals, get rid of pathogens. It's an all-around therapy.
I love it. I actually had it done. Jordan administered it to my lower back after the Spartan race last summer. I need to come to it again. But it was just really interesting to me. Like I had almost immediate relief from that. And it was lasting.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I heard again now, but we'll get there. I'm coming back, I promise. So what are your favorite therapies to administer? Like what's your favorite one? Which one do you
hands down is the ozone.
Yeah.
Because it's relatively affordable. It's safe for almost everyone and it's effective for almost everyone. And so that is going to be one of those therapies that once it becomes mainstream, it's going to decrease costs of healthcare and improve quality of life for patients.
I just love that. Love it. I love that. I was trying to explain ozone to somebody the other day. I was like, it's an O and then another O and the thing and the O comes off and the thing. But they use ozone to for smoke damage. My mom has worked in the firewater and mold industry forever. And she's like, we use ozone to remove smoke from cloth.
Yeah.
Because the O attaches and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. It takes the thing that doesn't belong there.
Yeah. And so it does pretty much the same thing in your body. They're using it for like to clean fruits and vegetables and to keep them from molding so fast.
Oh, wow.
So they're using it for a lot of different things.
It has a lot of applications.
Absolutely.
And so it's not very mainstream here in the States, though,
It's
right?
not. It's very mainstream in Germany, Italy, Cuba.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are the only providers in Colorado, right?
We are one of a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started your own practice in 2017 that provides direct primary care to your patients. Can you tell us about that model and what direct primary care means?
Yeah, so direct primary care is basically we are contracting directly with patients. So we have removed insurance kind of from the equation. Not to say that our patients shouldn't have insurance or they can't use their insurance, but we do not contract with insurance companies. And we do that because if we contract with insurance companies, we are agreeing to practice medicine on their terms. And ethically, I just can't do that. We believe that medicine can be done differently and better. So we contract with our patients. So basically, they pay a monthly subscription, and then we provide basically unlimited access to a healthcare provider. So our patients can call, they can text, they can email us. We have very few that actually come to the office very often because they just have something wrong and they just give us a call and say, this is going on, what should I do? And then we also use, food as medicine. We replace key nutrients. We're looking at the root cause issue rather than just symptom prescription.
I love that. So it's you and a partner, and you said you guys do. So it's kind of like a concierge, it's concierge.
It's very
medicine
similar to concierge, yeah.
About, right?
It's very similar to concierge. Instead of doing an upfront retainer, that's a large sum. We have the low monthly payment, so it's a little bit more affordable. Yeah,
yeah. And in our firm, we do monthly subscriptions too because I want people to call.
Everyone does it.
I know.
I saw an ad on Facebook for a nail place that was doing a subscription for nails, and I'm like, I would totally do that.
Right? It's like when you break it down into monthly payments, it's like, oh, I can afford the thing. And then you're like, oh, wait, I have 20 subscriptions.
Yes.
Right. And I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she's like, well, I have, because we were talking about where we work out, and she's like, I probably should cancel a few of those. She's like, I haven't been to Orange Theory in 3 months or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's how they get you.
Yep.
So one of your favorite topics is around curating community in the healthcare system. So tell us why that's important and how you're helping facilitate that.
So looking back, whenever I look back intrinsically on why I got into healthcare, I think the big issue is because so many healthcare providers are isolated. And so
work in their silos.
They work in their silos. And I think if we're truly going to make healthcare better, we have to get out of those silos and work together. And so I help facilitate that by providing, an example. I try to be an example of abundant mindfulness and working with healthcare providers. So with 5900 Health, which is the direct primary care company, we have, power partners or whatever you want to call them. But those are people or businesses that we have chosen to kind of do life with. And so we have that support. Because as a healthcare provider, it can be daunting to be someone's only solution, to be a patient's only support or only source of health. And that's just way too much for one person to deal with. And so if you have that community of people around you, then it's not all on your shoulders.
Right.
You can refer to people and the patients are getting the best of everyone.
I love that. It's interesting to me every time sometimes I'll meet a healthcare provider who's just like, I fix everything. I'm like, how? Like, how?
There's no way.
How could you? It's like a CPA being like, I do all the things. It's like, how could you? Like, how can you do all of those things great?
Yeah.
Right? We all
Absolutely.
have our specialties and things we're really good at.
Yeah.
So healthcare is rapidly changing and evolving. So what do you see as the future of healthcare? Like, I want your casting vision because you have that vision of community.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work in silos.
No, it's
for
not.
much longer.
Yeah. So my big vision is a world where everyone lives in authentic community, feeling passionate about what they do, valued and self-assured, and they have all of the resources that they need to make their impact. That is my big overreaching vision. And if I think if healthcare providers were actually living in that, I mean, I can't even imagine the change that it would make in our communities and in our patients' lives if your healthcare providers were working together and had a team.
Right. And
they already do so much good by themselves.
Exactly.
If they added in that support.
Because they all have that intrinsic desire to help people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them just do it within their own specialties or within their own learning. It's like, well, let's do it outside of that too.
Yeah, let's do it together. And I'm hoping that by helping people see the value in cultivating those relationships and being in community, then we decrease physician suicide and mental illness and physical illness brought on by chronic stress and anxiety and burnout and turnover.
Yeah, that's not good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So your vision is, groups of physicians working together, or groups of healthcare professionals working in little communities of some sort?
I see people working in communities and doing life with one another. How they do that, I think, varies.
Yeah.
So obviously there are some integrative clinics that have providers under one roof and everybody kind of works together sometimes. And sometimes you have integrative clinics where everyone is under one roof and they're working separately. Like they're not a community, even though they're saying we're integrative. And so I think for some people, the answer is, yes, let's all work together in one area. And for some people, it's, I just want to get to know you and I want to see who you are as a person and do our goals align? And then work together, share resources. And it doesn't have to be under one roof. It can be under just building those relationships.
That would help with costs too.
Yeah, absolutely.
If people were sharing more resources instead of cowboying up.
Yeah.
I love it. So how do you see the current model adapting or changing as the healthcare changes?
The model of...
Well, I would say the insurance model has to change, right?
It does, yes. Ideally, I think what would be doable is for insurance to go back to more of a catastrophic, when something bad happens, you have that safety net. I don't think insurance was intended to be your health care.
Right.
So individuals and communities have to be proactive in their health and making the best choices for them. And then the insurance is there if something terrible happens, something unexpected. But you should expect to go to the doctor once a year. You should expect to get annual checkups. You should expect all of this stuff. So the individuals in the communities should be providing that kind of support. And the insurance should be saved for the unexpected.
Just like other insurance, right? Like house insurance or car insurance or whatever. It's for the catastrophes. It's not to maintain.
You still have to, fix a broken window or whatever.
Right.
So
that's interesting. I like that. I like that. You're onto something, Jordan. I love it. So that went really fast. So before I ask my last question, where is the easiest place for people to find you?
Social media, I am at Jordan Bernard NP. If there are healthcare providers that want to reach out and connect with me personally, then I would say through my website, which is executingimpact.com. They can message me through there. And then, of course, if anyone wants to apply for membership with 5900, that website is 5900health.com.
Awesome. And we'll link all that stuff in the description box.
Awesome. And then, and then I can always be found on the first Thursday of every month at Coffee and Convos for health and wellness people. And that's at Cherry Bean from 8 to 9:30 in the DTC area.
That's awesome.
So that is for healthcare providers that want to cultivate those relationships and make the decision to consciously every day just decide to cultivate those relationships in their lives.
I love that.
Whatever that looks like.
I love that. It's about having that community of people to help others.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Jordan. I love what you're doing. So, in your opinion, what is the one thing that people can do to live a more healthful life? If you could have everybody do one thing.
Can I have two answers?
You can absolutely have two answers.
So the one is for people to wake up every day and decide that they are going to connect with themselves, their community, and their world. That's one. The other one is eat real food. From a healthcare provider standpoint.
You heard it here. Eat real food. I love it. Maybe less coffee. Less pre-workout.
It depends on the day.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
I'm honored.
It.
Thank you for having me.
Hey y'all, thanks for listening. If you found this podcast to be inspiring, helpful, and entertaining, please like and subscribe. This helps us grow the community and reach more people. If you are interested in learning more about this episode's guest or accessing any of the books or other resources mentioned in this episode, be sure to check out the description box below. Until next time, be abundant.